Wife went on a work trip and got back pregnant from her secretary. I still remember the smell of her perfume the day she came home. A soft vanilla scent I'd always loved. But that night it made me sick to my stomach. "Hey baby," Emily said, stepping through the door with that practiced smile. Her suitcase rolled behind her, her hair perfectly done. She'd been gone 2 weeks on a business trip to Chicago. 2 weeks of lonely dinners, video calls that kept cutting out, and her always saying, "Sorry babe, long meetings today." I hugged her. She stiffened just for a second, but it was enough. My gut twisted. Something was off. I tried to shake it off that night. She said she was exhausted, so she went straight to bed. But as I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling, I noticed something strange. Her phone, which she usually kept on the nightstand, was on silent and tucked deep inside her purse. For the first time in our 8-year marriage, I didn't feel peace beside her. I felt distance. The next few weeks things only got weirder. Emily started wearing looser clothes. She was constantly nauseous, emotional, distracted. I thought maybe the stress of work was getting to her. Until one morning, I walked in on her holding a positive pregnancy test. She froze. I froze. We stared at each other in silence. My heart started hammering in my chest. We've been trying for months," I whispered, stepping closer. "Is this real?" She didn't look happy. She looked terrified. "Yeah," she said softly, not meeting my eyes. "It's real." I hugged her, but her body stayed limp in my arms. I wanted to believe it was shock, but the truth was already clawing at the edges of my mind. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat alone in the living room. I scrolled through old photos of us, vacations, birthdays, lazy Sundays. Each picture felt like a lie now. Then her phone buzzed on the counter. She'd forgotten it while charging. Normally I'd never snoop. But that night something inside me broke. The message preview read, "Evan, you've been quiet since you got back. Are you sure about keeping it?" My blood ran cold. Evan was her secretary. I'd met him once, young, ambitious, always eager to impress. She'd mentioned him a few times, saying he was a good kid who helped her stay organized. My hand shook as I unlocked her phone. The passcode was the same, our anniversary. The messages went back months. "You looked amazing today. You're so much more than my boss. This can't happen again. I miss you already." Then the one that broke me completely. "I wish I could stay in your arms forever. 2 weeks isn't enough." When Emily woke up the next morning, I was sitting at the kitchen table with her phone in front of me. She froze when she saw it. "Don't lie to me," I said quietly. My voice was shaking, but I didn't yell. "Who's the father?" Tears welled up in her eyes. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. "I need you to say it," I whispered. "It was a mistake," she said finally, her voice breaking. "It happened once on the trip. I swear I didn't plan it." "Once," I snapped. "You don't text someone, 'I wish I could stay in your arms forever,' after one mistake, Emily." She crumbled then, sobbing into her hands. I just sat there, staring at the woman I'd loved more than anything, wondering how the hell we got here. For days I moved through the house like a ghost. She begged me to talk, to go to counseling, to fix it. But every time I looked at her, all I saw was Evan's hands on her. His words on her screen, his child, their child, growing inside her. I wanted to hate her. God, I wanted to. But hate didn't come easily when your heart was still tangled in love. One night I asked her, "Why him?" She looked at me red-eyed and said, "I felt invisible, Mark. You were always working, always tired." Evan made me feel seen again. That hit harder than I expected. Not because it excused what she did, but because somewhere deep down I knew I'd started taking her for granted too. But betrayal doesn't cancel out love. And love doesn't erase betrayal. A few weeks later I packed a bag. She was sitting on the couch, her belly just barely starting to show. "Where are you going?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I need time," I said. "Away from all this. From you." She reached for me, crying, "Please, Mark. Don't do this. I made a mistake, but I still love you. We can get through it." I looked at her one last time. "You didn't just make a mistake, Em. You built a lie and you lived in it. I don't even know who I am to you anymore." Then I walked out. For months I stayed with my brother across town. I tried to rebuild my routine, my sanity, my self-respect. Emily texted sometimes, sending ultrasound photos, updates, apologies. I never replied. Then one day I got a message from her. I had the baby. It's a boy. I stared at the photo attached. She was holding a newborn, tiny, pink, peaceful. I felt an ache in my chest that words can't describe. It should have been ours. But it wasn't. A year passed before I saw her again. I ran into her at a grocery store. She looked thinner, older somehow. The baby, Evan's son, sat in the cart babbling happily. "Mark," she whispered, surprised. "Hey," I said, forcing a polite smile. We talked awkwardly for a minute. She told me she and Evan didn't last. "He wasn't ready for any of it," she said bitterly. When I looked down at the child, he smiled at me. I smiled back. Innocent. Blameless. "Take care of yourself, Emily," I said quietly. "You too," she replied. "You were the best thing that ever happened to me." "And I ruined it." I nodded. "Yeah, you did." Then I walked away. It's been 2 years now. I've rebuilt my life, new apartment, new job, new sense of peace. Sometimes I still think about her. About what we had, what we lost, and the version of me that believed love alone could keep betrayal away. But the truth is, betrayal doesn't just shatter trust. It reshapes who you are. Emily's gone. Her choices carved scars I'll carry forever. But scars mean you survived. And I did. In the quiet of my new home, I sometimes still smell faint traces of vanilla. Maybe it's memory, maybe it's imagination. But this time it doesn't make me sick. Just reminds me how far I've come. Because sometimes walking away is the real act of love for yourself.